Hi my dear students, very good morning all. Welcome back to Sri Ramanuja Vidya Mandir. Students, today I am going to give summary class for the lesson Improvement in Food Resources. Already I have taken nearly students 7 to 8 classes. So today I thought of giving summary for this topic. Let us review all these things whichever we discussed in the topic, students. Let us start. First of all, students, before going to explain about the food resources and all, first I would like to convey that importance of the food for every living creature. You know, children, food is one of the basic requirement, right? So what are the basic requirements, children? Food, air, water, shelter, right? So students, these are considered as some basic requirements for every living creature, whether it is a plant, animal, even microorganisms, so do requires the shelter, food, water and all, right? So let's talk about the human. Okay, why we need to take the foods, children? Just to get the energy. Without the energy we won't get, without the food we won't get energy, and this energy will be utilized by the organism for activities. Then only we can do our regular works, then only we can happily live our life. So students, for this purpose, food is the basic requirement of every living creature. Okay. See students, this food consists of some nutrients, children. Food consists of some nutrients. What are those? Proteins, carbohydrates, fats, minerals and vitamins. These proteins are the building blocks of the body, and this carbohydrate, fat, these two will provide energy for the living creatures. So with that energy only we could able to do our routine works. And let us talk about mineral and vitamins. So simply they'll be giving the resistance power to the individual. Understand? So our food, the food which you are taking or consumed by the every living creature should have all these nutrients. Then only we call it as balanced diet. So now I have explained the importance of the food for every living creature. Now let us discuss about the need for increasing food production. Right? So you know what is the basic reason? So increasing population. So our population is increased like anything. Okay, and here our population is more than 1 billion students present. It is still growing. It is still growing. There is no end point for the population growth. Right? We will need more than billion tons of grains every year to feed this growing population. It is very tough task for the nation to provide the food for their countries. Very tough task. Right? Since increasing the area of, along with the population growth, can we increase the agricultural lands? Can we increase the crop lands? No. So, since increasing the area of land for cultivation is limited, it is necessary to increase the production of efficiency of the crops and the livestock. So, within the limited land, we need to concentrate on the yield and production. See, the production efficiency of the crop and livestock can be increased by adopting scientific management practices, improved crop yield, undertaking mixed farming, intercropping, integrated farming practices like combining agriculture with the livestock, poultry, fisheries, beekeeping and etc. See students, you know, basing on their food habitats, living creatures are divided into 3 types: herbivores, carnivores and omnivores. Okay, herbivores, generally they'll prefer to eat only plant resources, right? Carnivores, animal food, and omnivores, they'll be consuming both the types of food materials. So let us discuss the next slide, students. Different types of the crops. What are the different types? So how many types of crops are there? Like cereals, pulses, oils, vegetables, and fodder. So all these are different, like cereals, rice, wheat, maize, all the different examples of cereals, pulses, pea, beans, gram, lentils. See students, these cereals provide us carbohydrates, pulses is going to provide us proteins, oil seeds provide us fats, vegetable spices, they'll be providing the, they'll be giving the, immune boosters. What are those vegetables and all? Fodder crops like barsim, oat, Sudan grass are the grown as a fodder crop. So it will be the fodder means, food material for the cattle. Like different crops require different climatic conditions, temperature and duration of the sunlight. Technically we call it as a photo periods. And see students, in India we have basically two different types of crops we have. So the reason is that students, our India is a tropical country. So there is no even climatic conditions or temperature weather conditions throughout the country. Okay. So for example, in one state temperatures are maintaining different from the next state. So Kharif crops are, there are basically two types of crops are there, students. Kharif and Rabi crops. Right. Kharif crops are grown during the rainy season, especially from the June to October, like paddy, soya bean, maize, pigeon pea, green gram, black gram are the different examples of Kharif crop, students. What are the examples? Rice, maize, jowar, groundnut, all these are different examples of Kharif crop. And Rabi, these are crops grown during the winter season. Kharif means rainy season, Rabi means, students, winter season, during the month from November to April, like wheat, gram, peas, mustard and linseed. So this is about the Kharif and Rabi crops. Like improvement in crop yield. So in what way can we bring the more yield? So crop variety improvement, crop production improvement and crop protection managements. So we need to go for good varieties of the seeds, that is crop variety improvement. Crop production, so how we can increase the production level, we need to concentrate on that aspect. And third one, crop protection management. So after harvesting, so what are the precautionary methods we need to take to protect our crop from the rodents, insects, pests and all. So about all these things in this lesson we are going to discuss. Already we discussed. Let us review all these points. Right. Crop variety improvement is done for the following: higher yield, biotic and abiotic resistance, change in maturity duration. So students, higher to increase the productivity of the crop. Biotic and abiotic resistance, there are more factors. Biotic factors means insects, pathogens, bacteria, pest, everything will come. Abiotic means drought, salinity and heat, pH, everything. Change in maturity, so to reduce the duration between the sowing and harvesting so that farmers can grow multiple crops during the year. So here we have to reduce the maturation growth period. And wider adaptability to grow crops in different climatic conditions. Desirable agronomic characters like tallness, more branching are useful for fodder crops and darkness is desirable for the cereal crops. These are the desirable agronomic characteristics. Crop production management. See, crop production management includes nutrient management, irrigation, cropping management. There are three aspects under this we are going to discuss. What are those? First one, nutrient management. See, students, plant requires, how we require the nutrient food in the same way, plant do require the nutrients for their growth and development. See students, there are 16 nutrients required for the plant for their proper growth. Okay, air supplies oxygen. See students, let me give the list of 16 elements. Like major elements are known as micro. Those are carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, sulfur and magnesium. So these are the major elements required by the plant. Okay, and let us talk about the micronutrients: iron, chlorine, manganese, zinc, copper, boron, molybdenum. So these are the micronutrients. See students, here air supplies oxygen and carbon dioxide, water supplies hydrogen, and the remaining 13 nutrients are obtained from the soil. See students, out of all the 16, 3 are getting by atmosphere, like from the air as well as from the water, and remaining 13 are available from the soil. Among 16 nutrients required by the plant, 6 are required in large quantities. Those are macro. The nutrient which are required by the plant is called macronutrient. And here the examples: nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium and sulfur. And there are some requirements which small quantities are sufficient. Those are micronutrients. Soil can be enriched by supplying nutrients in the form of manure and the fertilizers. See students, of course naturally they will be getting all the nutrients, but so our aim is to increase the yield, so that here farmer is adding manually some nutrients to the plants for their well-being. Excuse me. See, micronutrients are iron, magnesium, boron, zinc, copper, molybdenum and the chlorine. See, these are the list of the essential elements. Manure is prepared by the process of decomposition. The first and foremost thing we need to talk about the manure preparation is, students, decomposition. So for the process of decomposition, they'll be using the plant and animal wastes. So it is one of the best recycling procedure, one of the natural recycling procedure it is. So it contains matter and nutrients. It helps in the increasing so whatever manure is prepared with this process, so it is very good for the plant as well as the soil. So now and then people are encouraging the organic farming. So the reason is that maximum we need to give priority to the naturally occurred ones, so then we won't get health hazards and health issues in the future. But they are using the chemicals, sprayers, pesticides and all, predators, preservatives and all, so the possibility of health hazards increasing day by day. That is the reason now and then even the small kids, age of 2 to 5 children, also facing the very dangerous and dreadful diseases such as cancer. Right? And see students, it helps to increase the soil fertility and also helps to reduce the use of fertilizers and recycling from waste and protect the environment. There are two types: manure, compost and green manure is there. See students, you just see the pictures of the compost. Very simple procedure. That is, compost is prepared by decomposition of the plant and animal. Compost prepared by earthworm is called vermicompost. So it is rich in organic matter and the nutrient. Green manure, before sowing the seed in the field, some green plants are like sun hemp, gar, etc. are mixed in the soil by ploughing. By the time of ploughing only, what they'll do, children, simply before sowing the seeds, some green plants like sun hemp, okay, gaddi antam, sun hemp, gar, etc. are mixed with the soil by ploughing. So these plants turn into green manure, which makes the soil rich in nitrogen and the phosphorus. So it's a very excellent procedure. Now people are following this preparation of green manure. In this, what they'll do, students, by the time of ploughing only, they'll be adding the hemp or gar along with the ploughing. So these plants are turned into green manure, so which will increase the soil rich in the nitrogen as well as the phosphorus. Right? Fertilizers, these are the chemical substances made commercially, and so those are nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium and all. Fertilizers should be used only in the required amounts. Excess uses of these chemical fertilizers will show impact on the health of the individuals, and it may lead to the water and air pollution, soil pollution also. Like irrigation, the supply, you know what you mean by irrigation. Supply of water to the crop is called irrigation. Water is very essential factor for the well growth and development of the plant, and there are different kinds of irrigation systems now and then people are using. What are those? Wells, canals, river lift system, tanks, check dams. These are the different ways of irrigation methods now we are using for the irrigation and all. See students, you just see the picture. There are modern methods like drip system, sprinkle system and all. Okay. Next, crop patterns. It is one of the point from the crop management. So far we discussed about irrigation and all, and supply of the nutrients to the plant as well as the soil. So now we are going to discuss about the crop patterns. So different ways of crop growings are used for the maximum benefit. Okay. So students, here we are keeping the farmer in our view. So farmer should get the benefits. He should not never get the loss. Otherwise, if the farmer faces problem or loss, obviously he may not have interest to for the agriculture and the culturing. So that first of all, and for the well-being of the farmer only, we need to think he should get the good profits. Then only we'll be getting the good yield and crop resources and all. First, mixed crop, intercrop, and crop rotation. What do you mean by mixed crop, children? So here they'll be growing 2 or more crops at a time in the same field. Okay, but here they'll not maintain any particular rows. So growing 2 or more crops simultaneously in the same field. Example, wheat and gram combinations, wheat and mustard, and groundnut and sunflower. These reduce the risk even in the crop. So actually, if we'll grow on 1 or 2 or more crops at a time means, so if one crop is lost, obviously other 1 or 2 crops will be benefited for our farmer. Intercropping, it is growing 2 or more crops simultaneously in the same field in the alternative rows. So they'll be following the particular rows for the crops. Okay, example, maize and soybean, millet, cow, pea, etc. Crops with different nutrient requirements are selected in this. One more important point. So the crops which are chosen for the intercropping, so in what way they should select? They need to select basing on their nutritional requirements. Okay, understand? And this help the better use of nutrients and prevent the spread of diseases from one plant to the other plant. Crop rotation is the growing different crops in same field in succession. Growing leguminous crop after the growing of cereals crop helps to increase the soil fertility. Crop rotation done by 2 or 3 crops can be grown yearly, possibly. So these are the different crop patterns: mixed crop, intercropping, and crop rotation. Right? Crop protection management, very good thing. So crop in the field are damaged. There are so many ways. Ways are there to get spoil of our crop. So what are those weeds? Weeds, children. Okay, insects, pest, pathogens. So by all these are the different ways we can lose our harvested crop or our crop. So first, weeds are nothing but unwanted plants grow in our field. Example, xanthium, parthenium, and Cyprinus rotundus is the best examples of weeds. What are those, students? Xanthium, parthenium, and the last one is Cyprinus. Cyprinus rotundus, etc. are the best examples of the weeds. They compete with the crop for food, space, and sunlight, use nutrients, and reduce the crop yields. Generally, they'll not allow the original crop to grow. Obviously, yield is reduced. right? And insect pests cause damage to the roots, stem and the leaves, such as they'll suck the cells up from all the plant bodies. They can reduce the crop yield. Diseases like plants are caused by pathogens like virus, bacterial, fungi, and they may reduce the yield. Diseases in plants are caused by pathogens like so weeds, insect pest disease can be controlled by using chemicals like weedicides, pesticides, herbicides and the fungicides. So they are sprayed on the crop plant or used for treating seeds and the soil. So since these chemicals are poisonous, so the spraying of these chemicals, so toxic sprayers over the crop, so it should be in limited quantities. They should not exceed the levels. So excess uses of these chemicals can cause environmental pollution like air, soil and water pollutions, right? Storage of grains. So now so far we discussed about crop improvement, crop management, crop protection, everything. So storage. So after this story begins after the harvesting. So matured, harvested, it is not a end thing for the farmer, right? So he need to concentrate on the storage aspects. Okay, otherwise he may get a big loss. These factors responsible for damage, loss of grains or biotic factors like bacteria. Again, after the harvesting also, there may be infecting with this such an biofactors such as fungi, insect, rodents, etc. And biotic factors like moisture, temperature in the place of storage. Before storage, grains are cleaned and well drained in the sunlight and to remove the moisture and storage. So the grains are clean, students. The grains are cleaned. Grains are cleaned and they will be dried in the sunlight. They will be dried in sunlight. Right? They'll be dried in sunlight to remove the moisture. And the storage places are fumigated to kill the pest. So storage places are fumigated to kill pest. Understand? This is about the storage. Now let us talk about animal husbandry. Very important thing. So till now we discussed about crops, crop yielding and different crop managements, crop protection management, storage, everything we discussed. Now let us talk about animal husbandry. Animal is a scientific management of animal livestock including feeding, breeding and disease control. So animal farming includes, students, cattle, sheep, goat, poultry, fish farming. Okay, it includes, students, cattle farming, right? Cattle farming, poultry, pisciculture, sericulture and apiculture. So all these are included under animal husbandry. First let us talk about the cattle farming. Cattle farming is done for mainly two purposes. The first and foremost purpose is, students, milk. All the milk giving animals are called as milch animals. And the animals which are required for the labor or for the work are known as draft animals. What are those, children? Draft animals. Milch animals for two purposes. No? First one is milch animals and the second one is draft animals. Right? Next, milk production depends upon duration of the lactation period. So lactation period in the sense the period between the childbirth to the next pregnancy of the cattle. Okay, that is nothing but the lactation period. Milk production can be increased by increasing the lactation period. So by increasing the lactation period, so milk production can increased. Understand? Right? Milk production. So foreign breeds like Jersey and the Brown Swiss have the long lactation period. See, so what are those for foreign breeds? Jersey and the Brown Swiss, they'll be having the long lactation period, whereas red Sindhi and Sahiwal, these are the Desi varieties, they are resistant to the diseases. They'll be having the more resistant against the diseases, so they can be crossbreed to get animals with both the good qualities. If we'll made cross between the foreign breeds with the Desi breeds, so we'll get a hybrid. This hybrid may have the good qualities of the both, so the animal the hybrid may have the good resistant power, at the same time it may have the long lactation period. So it is both are good factors, right? So now let us talk about cattle shelter should be clean. So first of all, we need to concentrate on the variety, and good varieties, we need characteristics and all we need to improve. And the second one is we need to taking care of the shelter. So shelter should be clean and well ventilated with sloping floors for easy cleaning and all. So they need to provide the fresh water, a good fodder and all. See, cattle feed should include roughage containing the mainly fiber and concentrates containing the proteins and other nutrients. We need to provide the good balanced diet to the cattle also. Then only we can expect a good output. Cattle diseases caused by the cattle also may affect with so many dangerous and dreadful diseases such as parasites, bacteria and the virus. External parasites causes skin diseases. Internal parasites causes worms affect the stomach and intestine, and flukes damage the liver. Vaccinations are given to protect from the viral and as well as the bacterial diseases. So in the what way we are vaccinated, so from our birth day itself, in the same way we need to provide proper vaccination to the cattle in order to protect them from the dangerous and dreadful diseases. So this is about, we will take care about the cattle. Next, poultry farming. See, mainly poultry farming is mainly done for eggs as well as the meat. The birds which are grown for the egg production are known as layers, and the birds which are grown for meat production are known as broilers, right? And improved poultry breeds are developed to produce layers as well as, see, crossbreeding between the Indian varieties like Asil and the foreign varieties like Leghorn is done to develop new variety. So this is the Asil is the Indian variety, Leghorn is the foreign variety. The crossbreed between the both gives the hybrid, and it is having the new varieties, good characteristics of the both the things. See, for good production of poultry birds, they can given proper nutrition, kept in hygienic conditions, proper temperature conditions and all. Boiler chickens are fed with the vitamin, protein and fat rich feed for better growth. They should growth well, right? And poultry fowls are affected by disease causing like viruses, bacteria and bird flu is one of the viral diseases, right? So they protect the disease from proper sanitation, spraying disinfectants and the vaccination. So they'll be treated very neatly, right? Next, fish production. So the fish culture is nothing but the pisciculture, right? Fish is a source of animal protein in our food. So see students here, egg, milk and fish. These are the good sources of the protein, children. These good sources of proteins. Fish is the source of animal protein in our food. There are two ways of obtaining. First one is capturing the fishes and the culturing of the fishes. Water source of fishes can be seawater, they are marine, and freshwater like river, ponds and lakes. First, let us talk about the marine fisheries. The popular marine fish varieties are pomfret, mackerel, tuna, sardines, etc. They are caught by fishing net from the boats. Some marine fishes are formed in seawater. These include prawns, mullets, pearl spots, mussels, oysters. We get pearls from the oysters only, children. Right? This is about the marine fisheries. Okay. Inland fisheries. Culturing of fishes done is in the fresh water or brackish water is called inland fishing. Brackish water means where sea water mixes with the fresh water mixed together. That particular area is called brackish water. Sometimes fish culture is done in the combination with the crop, paddy crop, that is called composite fish culture. Along with the fishy culture, we have to take care of the crop cultivation also. That particular process is called composite fish culture. What is that, students? Composite fish culture. Composite fish culture. Right? The common fishes in the inland fishes are rohu, katla, mrygal, grass carp, silver carp, common carp. These are the best examples of inland fisheries. So fish production is nothing but pisciculture. So here, if the fishes are caught from the natural resources, are called capturing the fishing, or where the fish farming is called fish farming, like how the crops will form in the same way, fish farming is there, that is culturing fisheries. Right? There are different sources, marine sources and the freshwater sources. Freshwater sources are rivers, ponds and the lakes. Marine fisheries are popular marine fishery varieties are pomfret, mackerel, tuna and all. Some marine fishes are formed in seawater. These include prawns, crabs, oysters, mussels and all. See, inland fishing means, so they have fisheries done in the freshwater and the brackish water. So sometimes fish culture is done in the combination with the paddy crop in the field. This is called composite fish culture. Example: rohu, katla, mrygal, grass carp, silver carp and common carp, etc. See, now the last one is apiculture. It is also nothing but the beekeeping. So through this, generally we'll get the honey. Honey is having the very good importance. It is having the high nutritional value, medicinal importance, and it is also having the good diet. Beekeeping is done to obtain the honey and the wax. Honey is used as source of energy and also has the medicinal uses. Wax is used in the medicinal preparation and for the making polishes. See, in India, Ayurveda, maximum medicines are we need to take along with the honey only. So consuming honey is a very good tip for health. And the local varieties of bees used for honey production are Indian bee, rock bee and little bee. What are the Indian varieties? Indian bee, rock bee and little bee. An Italian variety bee is also being used, that is now and then we are using in the large scale for the honey production. Bees collect nectar from the flowers and is converted into the honey in the beehives. Bees are artificially grown in the apiaries. So the artificially growth of the bees is called apiaries, and honey is extracted by machines called honey extractors. So this is the apiary, this is the beehive, and see students, this is the beehive, and this one is apiary, and see this is the artificial honey extractor, artificial honey extractor. So it's like a mission. With this mission we can extract the honey artificially from the beehive. So students, in the beehive there are 3 types of bees are present. First one is worker bee, and queen bee and drones bee. There are 3 types of bees are present. Okay, so queen bee, its main duty is just to lay eggs, students, just to lay eggs, and it can survive only for 3 to 4 months. Okay, and this worker bee, they'll be taking care of the hive protection. So they'll be mating with the queen bee, and they'll be formed from the, these are formed from the fertilized egg. Okay, and this drone from the unfertilized egg. Unfertilized egg. This is about the drone, worker bee and queen bee. So students, I hope I have covered all the slides which I have prepared for this class, students. And here one thing I want to explain. So maximum we are end of the syllabus, and here I would like to give a small suggestion to you people. So everybody, take care of yourself and be safe at home. Of course, take all the precautionary methods to save, especially first of all safety is important, health is very important, then only studies. I'll prefer only health, students. Take care of yourself first of all and listen your parents' words. But half of the academic year is completed. Okay, it is the right time to divert ourselves towards the studies. Of course, it is very tough task sitting at home watching the videos and learning. It's a very different learning procedure. So far we are not yet habituated, but we have to. That the situation demands us to go for online classes and all. So students, you need to imbibe all these new methods to learn the subject. Okay, I hope you all are following all the videos, students. So try to watch the videos repeatedly, then only subject you'll get the good subject. When you are giving more attention towards listening the classes, obviously you will be improved a lot in the subject point of view. Understand? See students, that's all for today. Thank you all. Thank you so much. In the next class I'm going to start a new topic. Okay students, until that what you have to do, you need to read thoroughly NCERT textbook, our study material, and try to work out all the questions which are given in the study material. They have given blanks, multiple choice questions, matching everything they given. So try to sort out all these questions, students. Understand? And one more important suggestion, I have conveyed this point in the earlier class, in the initial stages of this video classes. To maintain running notes, students, it's a very good habit for you people. It helps you a lot, okay, for your studies. Okay, so when you'll go to the higher classes like intermediate and engineering and all, medicine and all, so nobody will give special notes, nobody will give dictate notes for you. It is, you have to write in a own way. So if you're having the good habit of writing running notes, obviously you can understand the concepts in the class itself. Okay, understand? Okay all, thank you so much. Until that, thank you all, thank you so much. Let us meet in the next class.